Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Friday, April 8th, 2016. Let's start the end of the week with something awesome that's also probably just a concept, unfortunately. Here's a video featuring iconic Nintendo characters driving go-karts playing Rocket League. Not really sure what to think of this one, whether it's a pipe dream or a hint that Rocket League may be coming to a Nintendo platform at some point in the future. The beta for Pokemon Go is coming to New Zealand and Australia later this month. Hopefully that means that it will be making its way to the US sooner than later. And finally, for Nintendo news, they have shut down a fan-made project that allowed gamers to play the NES Legend of Zelda in a web browser. The creator says that they're going to re-release it without any Nintendo assets. Moving on to Blizzard, they have announced 3 new cards for the Whispers of the New God expansion for Hearthstone. You can check them out in the link down below. The open beta for Battleborn will be taking place next week, and you can now preload the game through your preferred platform. The popular survival game Rust said that they would do it a long time ago. Well, now it's finally happened. Your gender is now randomly selected based on your Steam ID, and there's no getting out of it. There are hidden features left out of the last patch notes for the PS4 3.50 firmware update. See those in the description down below as well. Don't Starve will finally be leaving early access on April 21st. It's been long enough, don't you think? Considering Cly has put out another Don't Starve expansion recently, yeah. Telltale Games will be publishing 7 Days to Die for PS4 and Xbox One, and it will be releasing in June. And finally, for teasers, Nosgoth, a spin-off from the Legacy of Kain series developed by Psyonix and published by Square Enix, has been cancelled. It's a really big shame, too. I loved the Legacy of Kain series, especially Soul Reaver 2, and with such a great developer behind it, Psyonix, I love those guys. That is awful. Let's talk about the problems that the rumored PS4K could cause for developers today on News Cartridge. I haven't covered this until now because I don't cover announcements of announcements. I just make it a rule not to. Many fans of Dark Souls were eagerly anticipating today because From Software had announced that there was going to be a big announcement regarding Dark Souls today. And just like a disappointing Christmas morning, gamers woke up to check their website stockings only to find clothes and a board game. So, yeah, a Kickstarter campaign will soon begin for an official Dark Souls board game. It will be from game designer Eric Lang, who has 10 years of a history working in board games, including XCOM the board game, Warhammer 40k, Conquest, and Arcadia Quest. And it's been announced there's a Dark Souls clothing line. T-shirts and hats and hoodies and a bunch of other stuff that has nothing to do with video games. I'm halfway interested in the board game, but the clothing line From Software, don't build so much hype next time over cotton and wool. Save the announcements for polygons and pixels. Oh, this is great. Squeenix claims that the Final Fantasy VII episodes will each be the size of a full game. Does anyone else see a logistical problem with this? They're taking a whole product, dividing it up, and then they're trying to tell us that each one is a whole product. If I gave you $1/3, you wouldn't say that it's a whole dollar, would you? No, you wouldn't. That would be bonkers. Good for them for pissing on us and having the decency of telling us that it's rain. It's bad enough that they're going to have to split it up to begin with, but now they want us to eat this shit? I'm not having any. As much as I would love to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake on launch day, I'm going to wait until all the episodes are out before I play it. The British Academy of Film and Television Awards is the focus of our quick story of the day. Both Her Story and Rocket League took home the most awards, receiving 3 each. Other winners were Fallout 4 for Best Game, beating out The Witcher 3, Rocket League, and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Bloodborne won for Game Design, and somehow Batman Arkham Knight won British Game. They probably judged the console version. For a full list of winners as well as nominees, see the description down below. And to conclude for the week, a developer from BioWare, Greg Z, has expressed his concerns over the supposed PS4K. To put it short, he calls it a gigantic pain in the ass. He then brought up the original Xbox, which, if you didn't know, in Origin had multiple different speed DVD drives, which leads to varying abilities of the hardware. This is not good when you're working on a closed platform with locked hardware. It essentially makes it the opposite, at least in the hardware sense. And he's right, I didn't even consider this. All I thought of was how much more powerful the PS4K would be. Developers may gravitate toward the platform that they only need to develop one version of the game for. The more platforms you're making it for, the more expensive it becomes. So in reality, if the PS4K comes out and the development for it is more difficult, then Xbox could gain the upper hand. What do you think? Is Microsoft's plan of sticking to their guns a smart move, or is it Sony trying many more things like the PS4K and the PSVR? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now on to Monday's game releases, because we're off for the next 2 days. For PC, Beyond the Destiny, Tatsu, Judgment, Apocalypse Survival Simulation, Kim, Dark Souls 3, and July. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I'm Dandruff. I'll see you on Monday. And what's a superhero's favorite drink? Fruit punch!